everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Pierce Productions. I'm joined here today for another fan film community interview with Brad from Being Real with Brad.
How we doing?
Thank you so much for being on today. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, no problem. You send the invitation over on through Facebook Messenger, and I was just saw something cool to do.
We're going to get to know Brad a little bit today. We're going to get to know his likes, dislikes about film. I will have the link down below for his channel. Go ahead and check it out. Brad, you ready for the first question?
Sure, I'm ready for it.
In your channel, in the About You link, part of your inspiration to do your channel was your friends and family that inspired you to do this because you love movies so much and they pushed you to do it. So I was just wondering if there's any one specific person that kind of stuck out for your journey and has always been there to support you.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably say my girlfriend Maddie. She's been absolutely terrific. Definitely supports all my movie watching. Ever since the pandemic started, it's kind of when I really got the channel up because if you go back on the channel, there's actually a couple of videos that I did, and then I took a break for a little bit. It was like issues with the editing and stuff like that, and so once I figured out how to like really get it good, I ended up making more videos, and my girlfriend Maddie really pushed me on that. I mean, when sometimes it's challenging because you want to hang out with her, and there's a lot of times where we've hung out, and I've had to do a bunch of editing or videos at my house, or at her house. So it's I don't know. She's definitely been the rock to this whole thing.
There's been times where I'll be at my girlfriend's house too, and we're not really spending time with each other. We're in the same room, but I'm doing stuff for my videos and she's kind of doing her own thing. So it sounds like you've been in that similar situation.
She definitely makes me feel much more comfortable and secure about it when like a lot of people I grew up with don't really do the whole movie thing because I did a lot of sports growing up. So a lot of my friends are in the sports realm. And so like movies has always been like cool, but not like diving deep into film. So you don't really get a lot of support there. But yeah, she's been awesome.
So when you're watching a movie, go ahead and let me and let everyone else know some of your favorite movie snacks that you need to have, whether it be drink or food.
I always have to have popcorn. Popcorn is my absolute favorite snack of all time. Like I am a fiend on popcorn. Every time I go to the movie theater, I always have to get popcorn. Every time I watch a movie at home, I have to make it in a very special, particular way. I'll even go online and look up how to make the best popcorn. For drinks, I don't really drink soda that much. I only get at the movie theater. It's like my specialty. And then usually when I'm at the theater, I always get peanut M&Ms. That's always my go-to. But popcorn is an absolute must.
Peanut M&Ms reign supreme over all other M&Ms.
I agree.
Are, quick question, butter or no butter for your popcorn?
Put like a little bit on. At home, I use like the homemade butter, and I do a little like heat it up in the microwave, or sometimes I put it in a pan on the stove and I kind of put it at a low temperature and I heat it up. I put it like I drizzle it all around. It's pretty good. I have a little system with it.
All right, next question up. What are your goals for 2021 for your channel? Where do you see yourself at the end of 2021? Hopefully, I got my fingers crossed, we have a whole bunch of movies coming out this year to be able to talk about.
Yeah, so I did do a video on it. It was kind of combined. So it was my 1 year on YouTube that I did. It was like 3 weeks ago. And that was kind of towards the end of the video. What I said in the video basically is that I would hope to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. But I'm going to be honest, you don't really know how it's going to go because movies aren't really coming out, and most of the views that you're going to get is all from new movies. And so like my Wonder Woman and Soul review did extremely well. My watch time was up, but any other movie review that I do honestly doesn't get a ton of views, and a lot of it sometimes feels like, is my video not that good? And part of it could be because I need to work better on making the video better. but sometimes people just don't want to watch it, especially when you're this small as a YouTuber. So if I do a random Marvel video because I'm trying to review every Marvel movie leading to Black Widow, you might not get a bunch of views because everyone has already seen it. People are kind of watching different stuff right now. So I don't know. I mean, the only thing I could do is just be better with myself and honestly engage more in the YouTube community. I'm a really outgoing person, but I've been kind of feeling more like an introvert lately and more isolated because I'm not really going out because of the pandemic and all that. And
Hmm.
it kind of affected my mental health quite a bit. So I don't know. I want to engage more because it seems like there's a lot of smaller YouTubers. The more you engage, the more subscribers you get, and the more support you get from everybody. So those are a couple goals there.
So you said you want to get to 500. What are you at now for subscribers?
So I think at the time of recording this video, I think I'm at 247.
Okay, so you're about halfway. December is a long time away. I truly believe you can do it. You just got to stay focused, and you have that support system, your girlfriend Maddie, right?
Yeah.
So she'll be there to push you to do it on those long nights. All right, next question. So, do you believe that any movie is eligible for a remake, or do you believe that there are certain movies that just can never be touched?
I've thought about this for a long time. I've always thought about this question and I've never actually answered this question for like anyone, not my friends or family. So this might be the first time I
Ooh,
actually give like a decisive
I'm
answer.
getting nervous now. I'm special.
I want to say this. I think any movie can be remade, but it depends on who the filmmakers are, what is their intentions, and what are they going for. I I mean there's a couple movies I really wish that they don't get remade. I think The Wizard of Oz, I think of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I think the other one would probably be Back to the Future. I think those three I would not like to see be remade just because I think they are so a part of that culture and I just think it'd be very hard to replicate what they were trying to do. But it really just depends honestly because horror has kind of proven that you can remake movies for the newer audiences because a movie from 1933, I saw you have the Bride of Frankenstein back there, fantastic movie, but they're trying to remake that. I don't know if that's going to go through. I would love to see a remake of it because I don't think it would take away from that classic movie of how fantastic that movie is. And they're outdated, but it's cool to see what people were terrified of, back in the day. So it just depends. But if you're just doing it simply for money reasons without artistic integrity, like the 2016 Ghostbusters that I mention a lot in my videos, then you're just going to be a piece of trash. And so I don't know. Just I'm kind of in the middle, I guess.
So, for people that don't know, Brad works at a movie theater. This might be kind of I don't know about stupid question, but maybe you'll shock me. Do you prefer the movie theater experience or the home theater experience for new movies?
I always got to go with theater. I think there's just something about it that it's just totally different. Like I can't even imagine watching the Godzilla versus Kong movie coming out like for the first time on your TV. And no disrespect to anyone who watches it for the first time. If that's where you want to be in the safety of your home because it's a pandemic, of course. I'm definitely gonna go see it in a theater and it'll probably be like five people in there and it'll be great and it'll be super exciting. But just the atmosphere. People are excited to see a movie. You have the loudspeakers, you have the amazing screen, the great seating, and just honestly, the best part of like most movies is just walking out of a theater and just listening to people talk about the movie and just hearing people get excited. Like I can't even imagine if Endgame came out this year or last year, to be honest.
All right, next question up for you. What is your worst theater experience?
I have two in mind, and they came out the same year. A Star is Born, and The Nun. I know. Really, really odd choices.
Very odd.
Hmm. I think I'm gonna go with the Nun on this one because this one's pretty funny.
Enlighten
So
us.
I was, so I was so excited to see the Nun. I mean, I don't know. I thought the Nun was super cool in The Conjuring too. So I went to go see this on a Saturday night. I actually took work off because I just really wanted to see it. So I saw it Saturday night, 7 o'clock prime time, and somehow these kids like snuck in and they were literally so annoying and so loud and like playing music, and somehow no one else had a problem with this because it had quite a bit of people. It had about like 50 to 60 people, and some people like just did not complain. And I absolutely was so livid. I like walked out of the theater like right when the movie started and like complained to my manager. But it was so weird because since I worked there, it was kind of weird of how I could complain about it because I'm getting free tickets. Very weird of how they did that. So I went back in. I missed maybe like the first like 10 minutes of the movie. And I had never been more mad in my entire lifetime. Now I'll do the Star is Born next because this one was just very agitating because I saw this at a 10 o'clock show and I had worked the day of. There was five of us for the 10 o'clock show. And this drunk couple comes in and they sit in like the corner and they are so trashed. They are just talking throughout the whole movie. And I was so agitated. I yelled at them and I said, "You need to shut the hell up and leave the theater now because you are ruining this movie for everybody else." And I don't think they talked again. So that was pretty horrible experience for both those movies.
You telling me that story about the kids is making me relive what I had to go through with The Purge, whatever the third one was.
Anarchy? I don't know.
No, election something. The Purge
Election
election.
year.
Yeah,
Election
that
year.
one was my worst. that one was my worst experience, and they were right behind me, like kicking the seat and stuff. And
Oh my God.
yeah, so that just like gave me a flashback of that.
Wow, that's pretty bad, honestly. It is pretty bad. If anyone's able, like, try going to like an early showing. It's 100 times better, especially for a horror movie at like 10 a.m. It is much scarier, you know.
All right, Brad, next question. This is not your favorite film, but what is your favorite genre of film?
I would say my favorite genre is horror. And the reason for this is because I think horror is the hardest genre to make. But when it's done well, it's some of the best. And the thing is, too, I think horror is also hard to make because you're making it for all different kinds of audiences. People aren't necessarily scared of, Pennywise the clown, but there's people that are petrified of it and won't go see it. Or you have the demons, or you have the zombies, and all that kind of stuff.
I definitely agree with you about the horror. That's very hard because there's some people that are so turned off by horror, they won't even give it a shot. So it's those people that they have to try and capture in a trailer and marketing because let's just go with Conjuring 3. That's coming out later this year. Conjuring 3. Me and you will go see it. We don't need to see a trailer. We're going to go see it. We know the premise. That's good enough. But they need to hook the people like my girlfriend that will not go see it because they know what the title is. They know that it's scary. So those are the type of people that they need to hook, and that is one of the hardest things to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Sometimes horror, like, there's so much steps to it, especially like a really great one. There's so much to uncover and explore. So that's always kind of struck a nerve for me because it's a sense of feeling that you don't normally get. Like, that's why, like, us, we really enjoy horror movies because we're getting that sense of feeling we'd normally get. Like, superheroes have feelings that we'd have normal every day, like leadership and doing, the greater good. And those are things that we strive for in every day. But horror is trying to uncover something that we don't want to see. And that's why it's my favorite.
Who is your favorite actor, and who do you think is the most talented actor?
So I'm going to go with my favorite as Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, I know it's a pick that everyone loves, but that man has so much range. he can do so much and he can barely do any wrong. And he's just captivating in every scene that he's in. He absolutely steals the screen. This is definitely an answer I think I've stuck with a long time. Now, for best actor, I think I'm going to go with Robert De Niro. I think he can do no wrong, but he's just so fantastic in every role he's in. Like, he's just absolutely unstoppable. Even if he does play like certain similar roles, he does branch out of that and he does absolutely amazing work.
So going back to Leo, since he's your favorite actor, what's your favorite Leo movie? Very quick.
Favorite Leo movie? You gotta go with The Wolf of Wall Street.
I love that
Because
movie.
I think his performance is what makes that movie so fantastic. I mean, the movie's great overall, but without him, it would not be as a classic movie that's going to become in the next 10 to 20 years. So
For the next question, what are two movies, in your opinion, that everyone should watch? This isn't necessarily your favorite movies, but just movies in general that everyone should at least try watching.
I'm going to go with The Wizard of Oz and Schindler's List. I think those are masterpieces. I would put them in my top 10 movies of all time. Now, why did I pick these ones? Well, I could have picked something like The Godfather, 2001: A Space Odyssey. I think those two might be a little bit better. I mean, they're all masterpieces in my opinion. But the question is, what movie should everybody watch? And I think that those two movies, I think, could connect to anybody because Wizard of Oz is an absolute classic. I mean, it's kind of hard not to like. And I think it really changed the shape of cinema. And I think if you really want to enjoy movies, you just watch this as a kid and your imagination just spikes up. And then Schindler's List, I mean, everyone kind of knows everything that happened during that time with the Holocaust and everything. And it's just so beautifully made. I mean, everything about it feels authentic. And it really strikes a nerve with you that I think a lot of movies wouldn't do. And I mean, this movie's pretty long, so I was kind of about picking it. But I think if anyone reaches that adulthood, I think someone will get something out of Schindler's List and Wizard of Oz.
One of the first things that came to my head was Wizard of Oz when I came up with that question. That's one of the ones I would have picked. If you haven't seen Wizard of Oz, you're doing yourself an injustice. Go check it out. Even if you don't like it, just try watching it. It's a classic for a reason. So we're on the final question here for you, Brad. You made it
Nice.
all the way to the end, but there is no prize. I'm sorry.
Ah, man, I was hoping for one.
So the final question that I have for you before we turn it over for you to quickly ask me a couple questions is, what do you think in the year of 2021, with all the craziness that is still to come with movie shifts and date changes, what do you think has the possibility of being the biggest moneymaker for movies? What film?
This is going to be a tough question. This is something I've kind of researched since the start of the year, trying to figure out who will make the most money. And I've read a lot of articles, and there's different opinions on everything. What I would pick, but this all depends on if it actually gets moved. So my pick would actually be No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie. And the trailer looks awesome. Everyone's excited for it. It's going to be the longest Bond one yet. I really do feel like people are going to go out and check this one. But if it's not Bond, I have a couple more options because just in case it gets moved, I
Okay.
think Spider-Man 3 or it'll be Fast and Furious 9, F9, because all those movies from F5 all the way till now, besides like Hobbs and Shaw, have all been in the top 10 for highest grossing movies worldwide, with the last two being in number 3 respectively. So it definitely has a shot.
So all three movies you named, each predecessor before that has made it into the $1 billion club. I mean, they're all very likely possibilities. Time
Mm-hmm.
will tell with movie dates and all that stuff going on this year, but I would probably have to agree with those three picks that it's going to be one of those, depending on who stays in the year of 2021 and who moves.
And I mean, depends on who's able to see movies too, you know? I mean,
Also that, yeah. I'm in Florida where, it's like spring break, anything goes. And you're up north where they're a little more strict with their guidelines and stuff like that.
mhm.
So it's going to depend on when everything opens up collectively.
Yeah, and worldwide too, because Fast and Furious relies heavily worldwide, like
And Bond,
China's
yeah.
box office. Yeah, and Bond. So and I think that's why they're trying to move those.
All right, so that's all the questions I have for Brad. Before I end the video, I'm going to go ahead and throw the floor over to you because I've been bombarding you with questions the whole time. So if you have one or two quick questions to get to know me really quick, I'd love to hear them.
All right, cool, awesome. So my first question is, besides movies, what would be your second favorite hobby slash favorite piece of entertainment? It could be like, music, it could be gaming, it could be fishing. What's something without movies?
I'm really not a big gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if we're not going to include drinking as a hobby, then I'm going to say sports. So
Nice.
this last year, I mean, I've always watched sports, but this last year I've been trying to get into it physically a little bit more. It's been hard with, lockdowns and stuff like that, but I've always been one to go to the gym and try and take care of my body as much as I can. But recently I picked up racquetball. I really love that, and I joined an adult kickball league. Uh, so I've been doing that too. So I'm just trying to not only just watch sports more, but be more into it physically more and joining stuff and interacting with people more. So let's just go with sports if drinking isn't allowed as a hobby.
Nice. Do you watch like major league professional sports?
So the only two sports that I really pay close attention to is hockey and
Do
football.
you have any favorite teams from those two leagues?
Yeah, so they're both Florida teams.
Nice.
So for hockey, I like the Florida Panthers, and for football, the Miami Dolphins.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not the best, but they definitely did a little bit better this year than they have the previous couple years. But even though they suck, they're still my team. So Miami Dolphins.
All right. So the second question I have for you is that this is an interesting one that I thought of. Wanted to get a little deeper with this one. In a rough time of your life, what did movies do for you? How did it make you feel better? How did it connect to you? How did it make you feel, I guess, through that time?
Movies, I'm only speaking for myself, but I believe that it does this for more than just me. Movies transcend you into their universe, and for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, you're not thinking about taxes, you're not thinking about what's wrong with your car, you're not thinking about a burst pipe in your house. You're watching that movie, you're paying attention to that movie, and it kind of just takes you out of the real world. And I don't want to say it's a safe space, but you're just thinking about the movie and all the other outside stuff, COVID, um, everything bad in the world. You're not thinking about it, and it doesn't affect you while you're watching that movie. But all I can say is through those bad times, movies have helped me realize, hey, this person is made up in the movie, but they're going through something similar to what I'm going through right now. A couple years ago, my dog was 17, had to put her down. Comedy movies around that time when I put her down helped me get through that because um, you're laughing and you're forgetting about something devastating that just happened. And when the movie's over, I may still think about my dog who I loved for 17 years, but during those 2 hours, I was able to feel a little bit better and not think about it and get my mind off of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So movies to me are very special.
I agree, man. That is a great answer. Um, I'm glad that that experience really, the movies really helped you in that because I don't even know. I don't even know how I could be able to deal with that.
Movies were my first love.
Hey, you know what? Same here.
I love my girlfriend, but movies were there first. She's gonna watch this and be like, "What the hell?"
She's like, okay, this is enough of you.
Yep. She's gonna say, "You can just have your movies."
You
Um,
and your movie collection.
yeah, that's. I'll sleep with it. It's fine. I'll just cuddle up and I'll have all my DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah, there you go.
Brad, this was so much fun. Thank you for coming on and letting us examine you a little bit with your movie behaviors and habits. You were an awesome guest. If you haven't checked out Brad's channel before, you need to check it out. It's called Let's Be Real with Brad. I'm going to have a link down below. Definitely go check it out. Subscribe to his channel. Do you have anything coming up on your channel that you want to plug real quick?
So later today, I'll be having my other James Bond review that's coming out today. Mondays is Marvel movies, the MCU. Tuesdays is Bond, and I'll probably be doing more review like movies leading up to other movies in the future. So it's gonna be a little sporadic right now, but I'm gonna be very consistent, probably about 4 to 5 a week.
Thank you for being on one more time. I hope that we get to do something like this or similar to this again in the future. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.